Hey. Yeah. Yeah. Welcome. My name is Brian Knight and I live near Melbourne in Australia, and it's just turned 5:30 in the morning on a Monday for me. So it's an hour and a half before the market opens. Market's closed at the moment. All the markets are, except for cryptos. Welcome, Darren. Still on holidays. Ooh, first week down and dusted. Okay, let me just share screen here. This is just a disclaimer that I like to put up the start. So welcome to this analysis session. There is a full risk disclosure there. A little bit about us as live session traders. Yeah. So, yeah. While we're here, it's probably a good idea just to go through, I'll just show you my trading view and where trades are at the moment. I have 4 original trades from back on the 19th of the 7th, 18th of the 7th. They're all sort of, 400 or 500 pips, some of them. This one's 270. And these are new ones that I took the end of last week. Anyway, last week at some time, trading week. They're all in positive at the moment. Some aren't, it's not substantial profits or anything. But it tends to be that the process of this strategy tends to be that you will be in some drawdown, or the drawdown, or you'll hit a stop loss in a short period. Depends on how tight your stop loss is set up, but that's sort of where I am with my trades currently. These are where is it? AUD CAD, GBP USD, Euro CAD, and Singapore Japanese are all orders that have activated. I wasn't even there when they actually got into trades, and just following directions. So, and then there's 1, 2, 3, 4. So Euro JPY, Euro NZD, NZD USD, and GBP USD are just sitting there waiting. Now, what I like the C Trader just for the fact that it will show you what distance they are from entering the trade. So these are ones that I set up that, for example, GU is only 17, NU is 25, but look, Euro NZD is 118 away, so it's not likely to activate, and it's 63 for Euro JPY. So these are buys, right? And these are sells. Okay. So anyway, that's sort of where things are at the moment. Right now, I'll just stop sharing there. If you want we can go back. We'll go over now to trading views, just on different screens. So I've got and yeah, so that should be trading view at the moment. So that's where AUD CAD. I'm in one, and did I say another? No. Okay, no order for that, but that's okay. So this is basically on the 3-hour where market finished up on the AUD CAD, and if you look, it's been on a long haul of sell. This was October, so it'll be 17th of October. So it's sort of about a month away, basically, from the same point. That was up here was January, the start of the year. And basically, it's just been falling away since then, on the daily. There was a nice pull up here, and it seems to be that was the rate decision to keep on hold, big drop. It's now pulled back up, but it keeps, so it's, if I explain it, let me just grab. Hang on. So that sort of thing is happening. Bring it back down there. So you can sort of see where it's, jumping around in a bit of a channel. Now, this may push up. What I'm looking for is see when market opens, whether, and don't normally, well, staying in trades is one thing. Looking at getting into new trades is another. So for this to continue down, it will need to break these lows down here. Yeah, true. And to continue up, it will need to break that high up here. So I'm just going to put a couple of lines in. So we've got that. And so we'll change that to orange. And this, it would need to break. Well, first would need to break there, then maybe down. So we've got this range here. So the decision that you need to make, which is pretty simple, will this break here and put and come up and then push back down, or will this not break here, push up, break this high, and then come back down? And you can have a decision either way if you wanted to. That's up to you. But what I would be doing is making sure that you have your entry above whatever and below whatever number of pips. Yeah, for an entry, if you're going to put an order in on this. Yeah. I know you probably can't talk, Darren. You haven't said anything in the chat. That's okay. So
oh, it's all right, Brian.
Yeah, sorry, you can. You get to, yeah, so
there isn't too much background noise, is there?
No, that's okay. You're on a rave party or something and just living it up, which is cool. You got another week, have you, or is it?
Yeah, this is my second week now, so
lovely.
Yeah. Second and final week.
And having a good time?
Indeed, yes.
Lovely.
Very much so.
That's what I'd like to hear. And no sort of earthquakey stuff like Morocco, wasn't it? But you're in Morocco, you're in Turkey.
Yeah, yes. Yeah.
You didn't feel the earth move, or?
No, that's a long way away. No, I didn't feel that.
Oh, yeah. All right. So I mean, this is a process of what you can do. So let's create scenarios here just so that people can understand this strategy as such. If you were to place a sell stop here and say, okay, this is going to continue down, you could place a sell stop at this point with your stop loss up here. Yeah. Or what you can do is you could place a, buy stop. What am I? Well, this would need to, either you've got to wait till after the price is past there to do a buy stop, or if you have a sell stop, it will activate if or when it comes down to that point. If it goes past and then it pulls back, that's where you're going to be in drawdown, right? Oh, good evening, Alistair. Okay. Oh, where is he? Back home. Oh my gosh. Okay.
In the sunny south.
In the sunny south. Okay. So let me, how am I going to do this? Let me just see. Where is that? There we go, path. So what happens is if this price comes down to here, for example, and you have a sell stop in, this then may do this. I'm just doing an example. Right. Whoop. Whoop, cancel. So this is just one scenario possibility. So price may push down. If it does, you know, it may go sideways, whatever. But if you have a sell stop here and it pushes down to this point, it would get you into the trade. Then you would be in drawdown as it pulls back up. And then potentially, if it was to go back down, you would be in profit. It would probably come back to break even and then maybe into some profit. Now, this is the potentials. I'm just sort of doing a potential scenario, okay? There is also the situation that you could have an alert here. Yeah. That as price comes down, and if it was to activate any trade, but it's actually an alert, once it's down to there, right, and you would have to wait for it to pull back up, you could then put a sell stop in. Right, so it's just like a patience, time, waiting, like a number of step process here. Yeah. Then if you, so you forecast that there is to be a sell. If it is, we'll go through the other scenario in a minute. But if there is to be a sell, you would have an alert at this line. Once the alert pops up, you would then wait for it to finish that push down and to pull back up, which you would do, as you can see all of these do. So as it pulls back up, then put a sell stop in. Yeah, because one is it's broken that low, it's even broken that low, but it hasn't broken that. So it just depends on where you want to do it. But if you are tight, well, relatively tight on it, you'd wait for it to go there. Then once it goes past that point, you would put a sell stop in. Yeah. And as it pulls back, you're still not in the trade. And then as it comes down, you would get in the trade. It would come back, break even basically, and then start going down, if that's the way you're forecasting for this to go. Okay. Two scenarios there. One is you just put a sell stop in. Second is you wait for it with an alert to put a sell stop in after the alert. There could be more scenarios, but I'm just giving you a couple at this point. Now, second one, let's go. Say, for example, what price does is it goes from here up and it goes back up and breaks that high and then comes back down again and then goes back up again. All right. Yep, that's there. So this would be a waiting. For example, if it doesn't break the low here and it starts to push back up and then makes a low and push back up, you've got time to think about it. Yeah. You could put here a buy stop if you wanted to, which means when it pushes up and it breaks that high there, it would get you into the trade. And then you would have drawdown, and then you would have positive push back up again. Again, same scenario. You could say, oh, you could put an alert there, which when it activates that alert, and after it pulls back down, you have to wait for whatever 3, 6, or whatever hours on a 3-hour candles, and then you'd put a buy stop in. Sorry, for it to then come up and activate. It could then, for example, from there come back down to the entry before it pushed back up again as well. So which one would you like to choose?
A bit more the second one, but not quite as much.
Oh,
I think it will come down, but I think it will go up a bit and come back. So I've been trying to catch up on my pairs. I actually looked at this one this morning, and I think there's a POI above it. There's that order, there's an order block which it hit, which is this my 10th of November special, and it's come down to that. And yeah, I think it's going to go down eventually, but I think it's going to go back a bit. And if you put a fib on it, it hit the 78.
Down here, yeah.
Somewhere down, somewhere, yeah, it's hard to tell.
Yeah.
Yeah, it hit 78 and it's jumped up and down a bit since then.
Yeah.
So, in short, I don't know.
That's good. That's good. In short, you don't know. Well, see, this is the thing, isn't it? Like, sometimes, like from a forecast, you can go, at the moment, I could see this doing either, right? So what will tell me, though, is if it breaks a high or a low on a previous high low, so this is sort of wait for the market to open and wait for it to show me what happens rather than guess what might happen.
I'll give you a number. 87240 is what I highlighted this morning. 87240 is a sort of above price. It's a POI.
Just in here.
It's not much above. It's not a lot.
No, it's just here.
But it's the other side. It's above and below.
Yeah. So you think maybe it might. Well, you think it may do this, where it may pull up to there, then start going down.
Yeah, possibly. Yeah.
Okay.
Sort of in between.
Wow, lots of scenarios.
There's imbalance above and still and blah blah. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, but does it really matter? Yes, all of that is important, and it could be part of the scenario. But for me, here it's really easy. If I just watch AUD CAD, because I'm in a CAD for a sell anyway. I got one, as I said, I'm up 270 pips on it. And another AUD CAD, I've only got, 1.2 pips. So I must have got in somewhere here. Huh? So wherever it was on an order. So I've got a couple looking, in a way, I've got some trades here looking at it to sell overall. And obviously, I got in somewhere here. I was in drawdown, and then later, before the market closed, it basically pulled back down here and got me into a slight profit on it. So I may do drawdown again as it pulls up a bit, as you said, and then come down, or it'll come up and break this high up here. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think.
Sorry.
Go, Darren.
Go on. I don't think anything fundamentally has changed to suggest it's going to break that high and push up.
Yeah, correct.
Yeah, interest rates kept on hold. It might pull up a bit further, as Alistair suggested, but my thinking is it'll break that bottom trend line at some point and continue down. I'm about 5 pips up.
Yeah.
The original trader was in, profited out. I think it was a couple of weeks ago now. But I am back in on a few pips up. But I think it's going to continue downwards. I think.
Okay.
Just my view.
Well, you see, not that this matters, but over here they're talking about, this is August 3rd, though, talking about dampening risk and appetite AUDs. But well, I don't sort of take a lot of notice of that, but I'm just saying it's adding it to what you're saying, Darren, is that the overall sort of feel of the Aussies and New Zealand's are, that they are not that strong. I personally think it'll break this low down over here. I think it'll go down past that last year's October price, and it'll actually come down past it. But just in it for a bit now, it's about where do you enter to minimise potential loss. And if you do enter, where do you put your stop loss that you're not going to have a losing trade on it? Yeah, as I think I said in the chat, I lost where is it? My history over here. I lost AUD, USD, and AUD CHF. We'll have a look at that in a minute, the CHF. But they were only really small losses, right? Through the week. But the gains that I made on others were, well above any of those two losses as such. So, but also too, some of those ones last week I was in, there were substantial drawdowns because of where I got into those trades, and most if not all were basically orders that I'd put in place. So yeah, so answer to my question is I'm going to wait and see what happens here if it breaks there. Now I can have an alert on this, an alert on that, but I'm going to come back and watch it anyway, market open at Tokyo, pre-London, and see where it's sitting at. Yeah, and make a decision in relation to what it is. Has it broken there? Has it broken there? What is the market telling me about its sentiment in this at the time? Yeah. This is not necessarily doing setups right in this session like pre-market open, but it's looking at what did the market do last week? Yeah. And where is it at? This was last week, rates on hold, bang, drop back out. Yeah. And then it sort of was pulled back a bit of that. And I'm looking at that then to potentially break back down again. Yeah. Okay. So AUD CHF, this is one that I got in on an order for a sellout on this. I saw it pull back up there and come back down. It basically spiked back up and got me out of the trade. If you can see, I think it was down there where I had an order. Yeah. And so it was coming down. It pulled back up. What I was looking for is for it to come back down to this point. Sorry, down here. It actually got me into the order. So that pull up there got me into the order, and then it basically was okay for a bit, and then it spiked back up and spiked me out. Yeah. So what I'm going to do is, because I'm not finished with this at the moment, this is still in a sell trend. The point here, if we look, point is, I don't think it's going to break that high. And what I'm looking for is for it to break that low, right? But where it's at is if this comes back down and breaks this low, then potentially it's on its way back down again, right? So I've got to watch here. Will it come up and break, a high up here? This one to start with. I know I'm putting lots of lines on, but if you can see that high there out of the box, yeah, it's come up to the middle of the box, which I think it might, maybe having my stop loss further up might have been a good idea, but I didn't. It's just where I had it. And now at some point, if this continues up and breaks that high, well, it's still going up. But with looking over here at the daily, I can't see it necessarily doing that. Yeah. It had, if you look at it over the last couple of weeks, really push up, push up, push up, push up. Remember, I talked about that. And then it did this push back down, broke structure. It's pulled back up again, but hasn't broken that high at this point. So my thoughts are at some point here, it won't break the high and it will come down and break this low, then pull back up again before it continues down. So that's USD CHF. Just got to wait and see for it to set up. If it breaks this low down here, then pulls back up, I think a sell stop would be in order. Yeah, get back into this trade. As I said, this was only a small loss anyway from here, 30 pips on a 0.01, for example. AUD JPY, again, not sort of looking at this one for a trade at this point. It could be, a nice sellout if anybody wanted to. You'll see where the trend is. It's starting to pull it back down. So maybe you'll see where it's come up to there. It may then just pull back down here and break that low, but we'll see. Again, there's a turn. It may be a good situation here to look at this and gee whiz. It may be in here for like a sell stop at some point. It's just what's the market do when it opens? How's it going? What direction? You can see that's just the end of the market close. It was pushing up really nice the last day. Yeah, did a big wick down and then push back up. Like that's a stop hunt there. Back up, and now you can see what it's done in the past. Anyway, if you want to, that's a watch. I don't go near that. NZD. AUD Singapore, not. It's too sideways. AUD USD, again, sell. Right, now, this one's spiked up as well. Must have had my stop loss too tight on this one. I'm pretty sure it was that. Wasn't it one of those? Yeah, AUD USD. Yeah, again, it was only a small loss on that. So at some point, again, if this is to break any of this low down here, it must have been here somewhere, for example. It broke that low down there, got me into the trade. So I'd be looking at, is this going to break? Well, maybe if it's breaking those lows, see the lows down here? Might look at, it depends, it could be stop hunt. So, look down just a little bit. If it gets into that trade, or have an alert there to wait for it to do this. For example, there, and there. Now, so this has been going sideways for like 1, 2, 3, sort of 4 days. So you had the rate drop last Tuesday, the rate hold, which dropped the price, and it's just been going sideways. It hasn't pulled back up. Like if you look at the AUD CHF, it has pulled back up. If you look at AUD CAD, it has pulled back up, right? But the AUD USD has not. It's just gone sideways.
It's in a bit of a box there, I think, isn't it? Right.
Yeah, absolutely. Let's get rid of that, and we will put a rectangle on it. That's why here, if it breaks out, it has jumped up here, but that's just a little stop hunt and then it's pull back down again. But you're right. For me, though, is if it breaks these lows there, it's going to pull back up and then come back down. I think these are just little, Anyway, we'll see. It could go higher, but I doubt it. What do we got news here? Consumer confidence. Well, that's going to be crap, isn't it? And what's in here? Oh, wow. Inflation year on year. That's going to be interesting. Inflation, everything, US stuff. Wow. That's not until, when's that day? Oh, a heap of more news. That must be around the 14th, 13th, 14th. So middle of this week, maybe. Interesting. Yeah. Wednesday night for me. Okay. And GBP stuff on Tuesday. Okay, Wednesday. So Wednesday's going to be an interesting day. Employment. Okay. So the Aussie dollar. So you'll have US, then the Aussie dollar. Oh my gosh, that's going to move it around a bit, isn't it? Then unemployment stuff and core on Thursday. Right. Okay. So there's going to be a bit of Aussie and US news. Rightio. So this is going to be interesting. All right. Oh, wait a minute. What have we got here? Alice's forecast, have we? Oh, yeah, that was the forecast. It was going to come back up there. Okay. At some time.
It is.
Yeah, no, it will be at some time. It'll do that. Absolutely.
Do you know what? Do you know what? That's just answered the question. I've got a green line across this chart and it says sell entry ? And I've got no idea why I put it in the chart. And now I know.
So now you know.
And now I know. Oh, bloody hell, it's that one.
Yeah, 66513. Yeah, Alice's forecast. It's going to come up to there. Okay. Yeah, it may be next year sometime. Right, so that's AUD, USD. Just cautious because of the news. I don't know whether the Aussie thing, it might just pull back down. But anyway, we'll see. I'm still, 430 pips on my original trade. So I think I'm at 26% at the moment. And I've probably lost at least, I don't know, whatever over the time. I'm still trying to perfect this strategy as such, and trying to set up some rules for entries and stop losses in them. Anyway, so CAD CHF still going down, but we've got this sort of pull up here. And you see some entries, stop losses. These are buys. Yeah. So on the 3 hour, it's pulling back up here. See that pull up? Canadian against the Swiss franc. I just don't want to be playing in it at the moment. It is in the buy, but I think it's going to turn to come back down because you can see on the daily overall it's to sell. The Swiss franc is potentially stronger than any other currency over time, but this is a push up. So the CAD must be pretty strong. Yeah, it's pushing back up. Came out of the box down, didn't break any of these lows. It looks like it's coming up to break the high, pull back and go further up. See, there is a potential target to break. From where it is up to there's at least 100 pips. Okay. So where am I in that one? I'm only up about 8 pips at the moment. So that's okay. So that's the CAD-J. And I don't want to talk about mine, but if you want to, you can look at where this pulls back to. I'll probably get in drawdown today before it pushes back up, or it might push up to break that and then come back down, and it all depends. CHF JPY, again, this has been going crazy sideways stuff in there in the box. Look at it up there. It didn't break that low there. Now it's pulling back up again. Let's keep it away from this one until it starts to work out what it's going to do. That 3 hour is, yeah, weird. But, you know, there are opportunities in amongst that if you wanted to trade them on the day. Just depends. Yeah. And where are we now? Let's go down through the euros. Euro AUD. All right. This here is a sell at the moment. It pulled back up. So that pullback up is when the rate news for Aussie was on hold. It's now pulled back down here. My thoughts are, or my, it stopped me out there, but my thoughts are still that this is going to pull back up. So at some point here, if this breaks a high up here, for example, pull back, might look at getting into this trade as long as it doesn't break this low down here. If it doesn't break that low, then it's going to go back up. You can see where this has pushed up past there. So this pullback here now, before it starts to push back, I think the euro will strengthen against the Aussie and the New Zealand. If you look at it, the euro's pushed down there. Now it's pushing back up, but it hasn't broken the low. So let's see how it goes. I'll look at it to break the high up here.
It's pinged off the order block at the top and dropped back down and took back at all that imbalance, and now it's gone back again. So yeah. It's looking like it's coming back up. We'll just see.
I think so. Yeah, and there's a bit of, what's the euro news? It's sentiment stuff. Okay, interest rate decision. Right, we'll just see how that pans out. So then Euro CAD, that's still going down, right? Interesting. From that point of view, this is going to have a pullback. So it's breaking the lows. Yeah. I must have got, Euro CAD got into, I'm only up 3 pips or something. So it basically came down, got me into the trade. I was in drawdown, and now it's down there. Euro CAD, I'm in it for a sell. So what I can see this doing is maybe pulling up, putting me into drawdown again before I go back down. So that was my order entry. Yeah. And it came back up there. So the order was to break that, which it did. It came down, got me in the trade, pulled back into drawdown, and back down again. Right. So I am in this trade and it was an order, right? So the next thing would be I could put another trade on if I wanted to. If it was breaking, if it breaks this low, it will pull back up and then back down too. Anyway, I'm not just at the moment. Let's see what the market does. Euro CHF. Yeah, still sitting in this box. I'm not, not one I want to go near just at the moment. Just going sideways. There's too many lows here, just ding, 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 touching. Euro GBP. Oh. Oh. Right. Spike there, but it's come back up. I'm going to keep away from this one at the moment too. Euro JPY. I got into this one. Is this an order? No. No, the Euro JPY, that's right. That was the order I put in. And you can see I had it for a buy, right? So wherever it was here, this push down, I felt that maybe, for example, it would push up, break that, and then continue up to break the high. It never made it there, right? But it is going now. We'll see what happens. So if it does break the high, it actually broke out the bottom. Right? I thought it might come here and then push back up, but in actual fact, it's come out the bottom and broken here. Yeah. And then push back up. So it may not make it to there. It would have to break that high here to do that, which it really hasn't. These are on Iconasis too. I'll just show you on standard candles. You can see where it's pulling back down now. So maybe my forecast of this going into a buy to break the high up here or break there was not justified from this. Yeah, so if I look back here, this was my forecast. Come down here, box, and to go to break the high because of those previous high breaks. Doesn't mean it won't. But that order is still in place at the moment, and it's like 63 pips away from activating. So we'll just see. I'll leave it there at the minute. We'll have a look at NZD. There's a Euro Singapore. Again, it's selling, but overall on the daily, it's a buy. Not going to take a sell. Only want to take buys. Not going to do it. Okay. Euro USD. Euro overall on the daily has come back now. It will depend on, and it's a bit away, but it depends on whether it'll break this low you can see over here, right? So if you want it, like it has been since 31st of August, it has been in a sell. It's now starting to get a bit sort of jumpy. You had sell, a little bit of a pullback there, and then sell. This is a more substantial pullback. If it breaks the low here, this low, and pulls back up again, but doesn't break that high, then I might consider getting into a sell on it. But I could put an order in it anyway if I wanted to. Right. Then let's look at the GBPs. Any comment, Alistair? You following along?
Yeah. Euro JPY, that one is in it's a big order block. I've got it, had it in, and it's been in it since the beginning of about a month ago, 10th of August. It's been pinging up and down. Broke out of it, but the two lows, the last two lows touched the bottom of the block.
Yeah.
Pretty well smack on.
Yeah.
So that's what I looked at this morning. So don't know, it might well keep going up. So
we'll see.
We'll see.
Yeah.
That's what I looked at that one.
We will. It's just a wait and see game. Right.
Yeah, I think
now,
there's a lot of that.
GA. Let's look at the British pounds. The GA, okay. You can see it had been long-term buy. This is the pullback. This is the rate decision there. Pull back up, and then it's come back down. I don't think it'll break the low, but we'll see. I'm looking at this to actually pull back up and break this high. And I think that's this sort of week when we get this confidence news, maybe. Right? There is some British news. What's that? Yeah, that's confidence there as well. Unemployment rate coming in. And the GDP. Ooh, okay, let's see. If they're positive or whatever, then this could pull back up. But it'll come back down to whatever that news will be at the time. I do think that ultimately this is going to pull up and break the high up over here. But we'll see. GBP CAD. CAD's been strong and pull back down again. See it down, pull back up to that point and back down. I haven't got an order and I would have liked to have had it. But the point is, this British pound has been strong on the daily since when? 22nd of September last year. So this pullback, the only thing I've got here, there's Julie. The only thing I'm seeing on the daily is it hasn't broken the high up here. Hey, Julie, how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Hey, not too bad. Not too bad. We're starting to get warmer here. I think by you're in Fahrenheit. In metric, in Celsius. We're going to be, mid-20s here this week. It'll be interesting change. So
Yeah.
we're starting to get warmer, and the northern hemisphere is going to start to get cooler.
Yeah, that's not a bad thing.
No.
I'm sorry I'm late. I couldn't get on.
No, that's okay. It's not a problem, Julie. It's okay.
We were 29 and a half yesterday, just on 30.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
Starting to do the crossover.
Been hot. You can have some of it.
That's hot. Wait till you get, low 40s here. That's when it's hot, mate. And that's hot. So my only thing is this hasn't broken the high up here. So maybe it's in a bit of a downturn now. Maybe that is the swing high and we're not going to be coming back. We're on the trend back down. And it's broken that low. It's, broken structure. The test will be how far this pulls back. If it doesn't break that high, then we're going to start to get into some sells. Yeah. Then GBP CHF, don't want to go near it at the moment. That one's all sort of sideways as well. Forget it. Yeah. GBP JPY though. I think we're getting ready. It's in the box. Whether it'll come up and break the high is another thing, but it's been in a buy trend for a considerable amount of time as well, right? We're just having a pullback at the moment. It depends. If it does, again, there's break of structures down here. If it breaks them, then we're still going in that sell. But I don't know. I can't see the Japanese yen strengthening as well. Like GBP, NZD, same. It's doing that. Let's see. We've got some news coming up. The British news, whether that will pull it back. If not, then again, over here, look on the daily, it hasn't. So I don't know whether the Japanese yen, the British pound's getting weaker. But the AUD and NZD are a good sign, as if they are. It's going to continue. Okay. And GBP Singapore, you can see they also too on the daily. It's not broken that high, and it also hasn't broken the low yet. But if this comes down and breaks that low, we're still in that sell cycle. And GU, sell. So I'm in a GU 580 pips. I'm in another GU that is 19 pips up. and I have an order for another GU. Do I? Yeah, another GU for another sell. So if you look here, it dropped down here, got me in the trade. It was in drawdown, now positive. If this breaks the low to the left, I'll be in another trade. It will pull back up and hopefully go back down again. This is the GU. Okay. So that'd be like 4 trades in GU. It's been a good one. I mean, yeah. Anyway, we'll just see what happens. Now let's look at New Zealand dollars. The NCAD, I'm looking at this to break low, but I'm not going to be in the trade until I want it to break out of the box here and come down, pull back up to do the sell. NZDCHF, same thing. See how this little pullback it's done on the daily? It's now not broken that high, so I'd be looking at it to break this low down here. Right, so drop there. This is like, even though it's not Aussie dollars, New Zealand also responded when the Aussies kept it on hold, and then it's pulled back up again. Okay, so Darren's back again. And then we'll see what happens for a sell out on this, but it hasn't broken that high. It depends. This pullback, if it then comes back and breaks high, then that's a different situation. I'm just going to sit with this one at the moment. NZDJPY, again, too much sideways. I do think it'll break, sorry, NZDJPY. I do think that it'll break up the high, but we'll see. NU, again, sell, right? I've got a, where's my NU? Yeah, I'm 25 pips off it. If it comes back down and breaks that low, I'm going to be in a trade, draw down, then back again with a stop loss up here. Right? It just didn't pull back down. So it's good. Singapore Japanese yen.
Sorry, Brian, I'm between. What did you last say about the last things? Yeah, the last thing you said, and I didn't get it.
Well, I've got a stop. I've got a sell stop just there.
Yeah,
on the purple line.
Yeah,
with a stop loss up here.
Okay.
And it came down. Sorry, I put that on. I don't know. Darren will remember. I think I put it on at the last session of the week, which was about here. So I was looking at this drop, pullback, drop, pullback. I was looking at it to drop again and break that low.
Yeah, good.
So I have a sell stop below, but it pulled up higher. So I'm still leaving that sell stop because it will need to break that low to continue down. It's just doing a little bit of a pull up at the end of the week. But if you look at it overall on the daily, still a sell. Yeah. That's NU.
Cheers. Yeah.
Good. Now, Singapore Japanese yen, you can see I've got this as a buy. And what happens is I put this on the last day of trading as well. I had a buy stop here, and price came, bounced here and did all this rubbish, and then basically pulled up there, got me in the trade and positive. Now it may pull back down here, hopefully not break this low or this low, and then come back up again. That's what I'm looking for, to break that high out there at least, to pull back and then keep going, because it's still on a push up. Yeah. Now Darren's just back in time to look at his. Did you get stopped out on this, Darren? Can you talk? I don't know.
A USD card? No, still in. Still in.
Okay. It did a pullback. It looks like it's pushing back up again.
Yeah, no, I'm still in that.
I think you said you're up 300.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
So where's your stop loss? Is it down here somewhere? Is it?
Yeah, just sort of below that level there.
Good.
Yeah.
So it came down, didn't break it, and it's pushed back up again. So good positioning of your stop loss, Darren. Well done.
Yeah. I was just conscious you drew that trend line.
Yeah, I
on
know.
Thursday, didn't you? And then I saw that. I thought, I'm going to move my stop loss up a bit because that could come off there, and
Yeah,
I could end up
come back
giving
down.
giving away a big chunk of profits if I'm not careful. So
yeah, good
okay.
stuff.
I mean,
Well done.
if it breaks through that level, I'll think about looking to get in again. I think
Yeah, okay.
additional position. Yeah.
Okay, good. Yeah, well, it has sort of come up to that point and pulled away a bit, but it just depends whether it goes and breaks through that level. It's only just touched it, pulled away, hasn't broken that low, and it looks like it's getting ready to push back up a bit. So we'll just see. Well done anyway. USD CHF, again, that's another push up. So, it just depends. If you didn't get in down here, this has broken that high nicely back up here. It has come back down a bit, but it might be ready to push up. For me, if it breaks that high there, if it breaks that high or that high and pulls back, that's a time to get back in again, or to get in. Am I in a CHF? No, I just got to remember something. No, I'm not in it. But that's okay. I'm not in every pair. Okay, USD JPY pushing back up. Look at it. Like if you're not in, like it did that bounce there with news, but certainly it's broken that high, pulled up. Now it looks like it's going to break this high. Yeah, if it breaks that, pulls back down. See how it's matched it? Yeah. So we'll just see what happens when market opens. It may pull back a bit, but I'd be looking at getting into a buy on this one too. There is I've got you can see up here. See this up here? This is where I'm thinking got price that it may turn, but it's 180 pips away. So I'm looking at potentially getting into a trade with this. Just depends on what happens at the open and whether things set up for it. Okay.
Yeah, I'm in it. I'm in.
Oh, you're in UJ.
Yeah.
Lovely.
A few pips up at the moment. So.
Good. Well, you would have been in drawdown when it pulled back there, but it's going okay. Yeah. USD and Singapore dollar. All right. US dollar has strengthened up recently and broken those highs there. That's good. That's pullback. So I can see this, for example, pushing up higher as well. Okay, now where's gold? Because, yes, it's pulling back down further because the US dollar is still strengthened. And I don't know if you remember, but if US dollar strengthens, gold will weaken. And that's what it's been doing. So from its daily high up here on the 3rd of May, it's been pulling back down again. So US dollar is, it was weak for quite a while, and now it's US dollars are basically strengthening against gold. So I'd be
sorry, that one's played off the fib beautifully. Flib on it. It's just bouncing between the lines like a.
Off here back down.
I know I haven't touched the gold at all, but I don't know where I've got this fib written, but I've just clicked it on and there's a fib on my chart. And
well, if you have
in between.
From here up to there, you can see it's just down to the 71 and pulled away to the 50 and back. I still think it'll go down further.
Yeah.
But it will just see what happens on there with all of that. What have we got? The DXY also too will be pushing up. And that's the US as well. There's Bitcoin at the moment. I haven't seen what it's doing. It's still just been around that 25. It's just been sitting sideways for a while. Spike and then back down again. Just to keep hope. Right. Any questions?
Lots to look at. There's lots to be looking at, watching.
Yeah. Lots and potential trades to get in. Just remember though that whether you're using an alert or whether you're just using market execution or whether you've got an order in place, a sell or buy stop, you'll potentially have drawdown at the start of a trade. Potentially. And until it sort of they go into profit on it. If you've got the direction of the trend.
You've got that news on the 13th, whatever it is. It's kind of
Darren?
Yeah, I'm setting alerts rather than pending orders on these at the minute. So
Cool.
So I suppose I'm just trying to avoid, in my mind, just getting whipped into a trade and it going the wrong way. So just being a bit more, just a slightly more cautious approach, really, I suppose.
A little bit more conservative, yeah. So either using alerts or using orders, it's, whatever you feel works for you. It's fair enough. It's good. All right. Well, I know the market's not open at the moment. It'll be open in another 30 minutes or so. And we'll just see whether any jumps occur. There's certainly, for me, I don't sort of put any trades on in the first sort of 12 hours normally, unless they've got orders in there that as I said, I've still got 4 orders sitting in there, but some of them are considerable number of pips away from activating. And whether I kill some of those because they keep going in the opposite direction to where I'd forecast, I mean, that's just where it is. You can also, in some things, I think in MT4 you can also put an expiry date. So you've got a date that it doesn't activate by, that it will actually delete the order. Yeah. All right then. If there's no other questions or clarifications, I'll see you again hopefully tomorrow, and we'll see after the market's moved around a bit, and we might be looking at what potentially trades we might be able to take. But well done, Darren, and your UCAD that you're still in, so it's good. And up. All right.
Indeed.
No worries. It is a very more relaxed process of trading. It's just
Indeed.
And it was good last week. It's like, I think there were 3 that activated on me, 3 or 4 trades, and I put them in the chat. It's like, they just happened when I wasn't there. And at the moment, most of them are all that are in positive moment. I can see that they'll go into a bit of a drawdown maybe in the first couple of days of the week, but hopefully if I've got them in the trend direction, then by the end of the week, they'll be in a nice profit, and hopefully some more.
Yeah.
All right then.
Excellent.
Until next time, take it easy.